Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are planning for the first week of January for New Year's Eve in my new planner for 2025. The setup is up on my channel during Planmas just a couple of videos ago. But yeah, so I'm using Caress Press inserts again for 2025 and we are all ready for the first week. So I'm going to be using the Scribble Prints Co resolutions kit. This was my New Year's Eve art for this year. This is the purple version, which I think I did love the most. Although I did love both. There's also a pink green version as well. But I will be using the purple version from Scribble Prints Co. and I'm going to pair it with her Champagne Lights Fireworks bundle. I'm going to use quite a lot of it actually this week. I think I used everything, but I didn't use all the full boxes. But we do have the glitter header overlays, the fireworks bougie boxes, the date numbers, both bottom washies. So it's very sparkly and very fun and pretty. And I think the Champagne Lights works perfectly with this because there's a lot of gold accents to this set. Yeah, so I'm also going to color block and I'm going to have black in the Thursday middle. So there's more purple than the black, and I'm really excited to put all the stickers down. So while I'm putting down the base, I should just say I apologize. I didn't have any videos last week. I kind of was just decompressing and relaxing, especially after I did so much Planmas, and then I did a bunch of videos after Planmas. So I'm sure you guys understand I had to take a little break. I just wasn't in the mood to be doing too much talking. Plus, I've gotten still really into my new video game, Infinity Nikki, which I talked about my last plan with me. I've been playing it every single day. It really hooked onto me. It's the gacha problem of they want you to log in every day, but I've been enjoying it. I understand it's not a great gaming method overall for the gaming community. But this game is just something else. It's just so fun and so lovely. And it's all about pretty clothes and a beautiful world. If you're wondering, if you didn't listen to me last time, I'll just say quickly, Infinity Nikki's a dress-up game from China. So it's got those really pretty Lolita, beautiful dress kind of influences from East Asia. And then it has a director from Breath of the Wild. So it has that open world adventure feeling of Breath of the Wild, the Zelda game. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. And playing every day, I'm trying to... My problem is when I get into a new game, I lose that balance of, I need to do work more than game. So I'm going to course correct this next week and make sure I get my work done. And my videos as well. So I need to just sort of balance out my hobbies now that I've got a new big game that has lots of updates. So let's finish off the base here. I filled it up with my Infinity Nikki talking. Hello, I have new wintry nails on from Dashing Diva and I think they're so pretty. I love the velvet look on these pointer fingers. But yeah, so just after New Year's Eve, we got buckets of snow. We had no snow for Christmas, and now we are full up of snow. It's very beautiful out there, very big snowy. I'm sure it's about to get brown and slushy because I live in the city, but we have beautiful snow and New Year's Eve was really good. So let's get into this week. I have been reading Sword of Kaigen. This is my audiobook, which is a wintry fantasy. Sword of Kaigen is a fantasy based on Japanese culture, military fantasy. So it's more they're fighters. And I have been enjoying it. I never actually looked up what this book was about. I just heard that people said it was good and it was wintry, so I'm reading it. And actually the point of view starts with this teenage boy. And then it switches, so now you have multiple POVs and one of them is his mother. I think that's really cool and interesting. I love when there's a mother or middle-aged woman point of view in books. It just gets to me. And then I was working on my to-do list. I didn't end up planning a set. I was working a custom, but it's taken me a while. I'm getting it's taken me a long time to get back into work. Once again, I have to find that balance. My dopamine is being found in my game, so I have to like work on that and be more strict with my time. But I thought over the holidays, I'm going to give myself that break and maybe lessen some burnout that I've been having. So I was working on my Nikki dailies. But yeah, so what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so apologies that I have not been around. I know, and I also left it on not a great note of being like, well, I got a mean comment and made me very upset. It was definitely my like rejection sensitivity. Can't remember the last word, like not just for or anything, but when you get those kind of things and you have the rejection thingy, it's like bodily painful. So I've still been recovering from that, I think, in terms of videos, but I still really do still enjoy making videos. I haven't felt like just sitting here at my desk and doing it, so until now. So we're gonna get back in the swing of things and try and do the 3 videos a week. I did do some filming, a couple videos this first week. Obviously I was kind of on the end of Planmas High. I did do a Coffee Monday. I'm gonna bring in a bunch of doodles that are New Year's Eve themed from Scribble Prints Co and just have them around in the spread, because I thought that would be really fun. And this year they went with the kit. I think the kit I used last year didn't quite work with that set. I don't know. I did have a plan with me go up and I did some filming. Probably the base of this, I assume. Because I have the January monthly, so it could have been that. I don't know. I was doing things apparently. So let's have a look here. The rest of the week. Yeah, I left on a kind of sad note because I was still kind of like, well, I was sad about videos, but you know what? I've been doing this for so many years. I don't have, it's just had been so long since I got a comment, but I'm all good. I just have to, get through it and understand that it's not a huge problem, but that my body and mind will react the way that they react. It's just something you can't help very well. But yeah, it's okay. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So Monday, I also was doing some work on the custom, but it has been slow going, so I'm still working on it now, and it's the 12th. So anyway, I've been slow going the start of this work time, but we will get there eventually. I did order some scripts for Infinity Nikki, so I'm going to leave it that blank. But when they come in, I'll just refill those. I'll backfill them. But we did make falafel wraps for lunch, and I did put new nails on this week. You would have seen those in the last videos. They were like the really pretty green velvet nails, which would have gone with this spread too, but actually I feel like these go better, the winter ones. I literally just changed them today. So I had them on for quite a long time, from the 30th to the 12th, which is pretty good. I found the Dashing Diva gel nails is that they lift and get worse, like easier if you have longer nails, for me anyway. So when I cut my nails really short and then put new nails on, they last for ages. I don't know. It could be my nail shape though that does that. So of course I ended the day with playing some Infinity Nikki. Tuesday it was payday, and then and it's also New Year's Eve, but I don't have a New Year's Eve script sticker, but I do have a Happy New Year one, so I won't put New Year's Eve in here and give myself the space to put plans. But this day I did make a cheesecake in the morning, because the other year we made a cheesecake for New Year's Eve and it was really fun and nice. So we decided to make another one, and then we realized I've seen some different like Finnish vlogs and also different different ads and stuff, but I think baking a cheesecake and having it for New Year's Eve is actually like a thing here in Finland. So, and if you followed me for any amount of time, you might remember that my thing for New Year's Eve is mac and cheese, but I didn't have mac and cheese on New Year's Eve. This year I did have it, I think New Year's Day maybe, And I had it also on Saturday on the 4th because we picked up 2 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese. But yeah, we didn't end up having it on New Year's Eve because we had the cheesecake and then we ended up really wanting pizza, so we ordered a delivery pizza for dinner. But my cheesecake, I just made an ordinary no-bake cheesecake. So I used a digestives. Well, actually we could only get whole grain, whole meal digestives biscuits for the bottom. In America, you would use graham crackers or graham crackers, as the rest of us would say. But we used digestives, but they were like whole grain ones. But it actually was really tasty. So I used that as a base. Then I just had like a plain cheesecake that you put in the fridge and you don't bake it. And I just added some lemon juice to that and some vanilla. And then I made a mixed berry coulis. So I just cooked off a bunch of frozen berries with some sugar until they're thick and then put them through a sieve to get rid of the seeds. And we just had that when it was cold on top of the cheesecake. So yummy, so good. I used this mixed berry mix that's like a thing here in Finland. It's called kuningas, which is, kuning is king, so it's like the king berry mix. I remembered kuningas because I used to listen, before I moved to Finland, and I was obsessed with Finland, I used to listen to Disney music in Finnish, because they don't dub adult films here in Finland. They do dub children's films into Finnish. So I can still see the movies if I want, but I can't see kids' movies unless it's a specific English screening. But they do have all the Finnish versions of Disney films up on YouTube, all the songs. So I used to listen to a lot of those in Finnish. And The Lion King is where I got kuningas from. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the berry mix has, well, they're called bilberries here, but they're like wild blueberries. There are a lot of wild berries here in Finland, and a lot of the frozen berries that you buy in the shops are just those wild berries that they pick. So they're called bilberries, and they're really, really small blueberries. And they're pretty tasty. There's also strawberries, raspberries. Is that just a 3 mix, I think? I can't remember. I think that might be it. But it was very tasty. And it's always so interesting because I feel like in Australia, at least when I last lived there 6 years ago, like you couldn't really find frozen strawberries or cherries either in the frozen section, but they're very easy to find here. I don't know. Maybe that's different now, let me know. But I know Australia, we have a lot of fresh strawberries and cherries for most of the year. So maybe that's the difference. But anyway, the cheesecake turned out so good. Even better the next 3 days. We ate it over 3 days. I think because I had a proper time to refrigerate. But I did make it like at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, so it was ready enough. But yeah, really loved that. I did some clothes washing, and then I also played some Infinity Nikki. Some days I'm thinking in my planner I might not mark it every single day because I am logging in. There's like daily login rewards, which, you know, that's a whole part and parcel of it to get you playing, you know. But yeah, so I do log in at least every day, but I probably don't have to mark it when I start doing just like when I've finished a lot of the game and I'm just waiting for it to update and I'm just logging in for bits and pieces, you know. But yeah, so I don't have to put it in every day, but I'm enjoying putting it in. I'm just using some more of those New Year's Eve stickers. Gosh, you could tell that I haven't filmed for over a week because I'm just blabbing on, but also haven't talked to you for a while, so I thought I'd just blab on to you. I feel like that's one of the highlights of Plan With Me is people blabbing on about their lives. So again, we'll leave Infinity Nikki blank, but I'll write these other things in. We were still watching Malcolm in the Middle at this point, and then we finished Malcolm in the Middle on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. So we watched all of Malcolm in the Middle. I'd only ever watched bits and pieces while it was coming out. I never watched like the whole thing with an active brain before. And I will say, Malcolm in the Middle is like, it's so weird. It's 7 seasons and there's not a lull. There's no bad season. There's no really bad episodes. It's a show that just is good the whole way through. So if you've been thinking about watching Malcolm in the Middle and you haven't, and you just want to watch like a fun, silly, like family sitcom, I highly recommend it. I didn't think there was anything bad in it. Like it just was good the whole way through. And I really enjoyed, and I thought the ending was good too. And they've announced that they're going to do a like return, like 20 years later kind of thing. So now's a good time to watch it, I guess. They announced that while we were watching this, so it was kind of funny. We're like, what? Do we affect the world? But anyway, that's really fun. So I highly recommend Malcolm in the Middle for a good binge watch family sitcom, especially as adults if you watch it as kids, because there's like a whole different thing with the parents in terms of how you view it. And then of course we had pizza for delivery, and we had champagne because Locke's co-worker gave us, as I said in the Christmas week, they gave us a bottle of dark rum and a bottle of champagne. So we had it on Tuesday. I think that's like the most alcoholiness I've been in years, to be honest. Usually when I drink, which is very rarely, like maybe once a month or less at the moment, I would have like a can of cider, like hard cider, as Americans would say. That's a funny thing. Most other places, including Finland and Australia, we don't have apple cider. We just like have apple juice or cloudy apple juice. And then cider is just alcoholic cider. I think that's the same in the UK too. But so when I say I'm having a cider, I mean a hard cider. Because I've never drunk American apple cider. But anyway, usually a can of that is like 4% alcohol, and I just have like 1 or 2 cans. And the champagne bottle was like 12% alcohol, and I had a couple of glasses of that. And I was like, woo, I'm gone. A total Cadbury, as we'd say in Australia. If you're a lightweight, you're a Cadbury. But anyway, sorry, I just had to cut out a cough. So apologies for the weird editing there. But yeah, so that was very funny. Although we were just like, ugh, it's so dry. I don't actually like the taste of champagne. Or most wines, I'm a rosé girly, and I like my rosé to be sweeter. But anyway, and Locke doesn't like wine at all, so they struggled. Struggled through the champagne with me, but yeah. So, and then at midnight, we were still watching Malcolm in the Middle, and we're like, oh, right. It must be midnight because there were lots of fireworks going off. In Finland, people usually fire off their own fireworks. So we're hearing a bunch at one time. I looked at my phone, I'm like, oh yeah, it's midnight. In the middle of a Malcolm in the Middle episode, which is funny. But it's always so weird to me because in Australia, you don't do fireworks yourself. It's like illegal altogether, like throughout the whole year. You have to have like a permit to do fireworks at events, especially for New Year's Eve because it is summer and it's peak fire season. So, which reminds me, I'm just giving all my thoughts and feeling and my thoughts out to everybody who's affected by the fires in LA. If that's you, I hope you are keeping safe. Don't forget to wear a N95 mask if you're out and about because the smoke can be really damaging. But yeah, all my thoughts out to people in LA and California during these fires. We definitely, as Australian, understand those things. And I know the Australians can't help with the fire at the moment. Usually we do help in LA, but it's fire season in Australia right now because it's summer there. So I know that apparently they can't help. So that really sucks. It's kind of crazy, like climate change is sort of making the fire seasons at the same time for like California and Australia. It's not great, I will say. But yeah, all my thoughts out to those being affected, and I hope you will be okay. And I know online there's a bunch of links to GoFundMes, so if you are feeling like you want to do something about that, there are links up and about of GoFundMes and other different fun, so you can add to. But yeah, so that's why fireworks, just people having them, is always weird to me. And my first time of like actually experiencing that was we spent 2012 New Year's Eve in Berlin, and wow. That was, we went out there for a few minutes, and a firework shot through Locke's legs and underneath and blew up under a car. And we're like, let's go back to a hotel room. But we could see all the fireworks from our hotel room because we were staying on Friedrichstrasse. So, yeah, that was our first go of like normal people can have fireworks anywhere in the street, and it was crazy. Finns are not so bad about that. They started off about, I don't know, 5 p.m. because it was dark, and they kind of all stopped about 1 a.m. So yeah, Finns are like, yay, fireworks, and I'm done now. So it's not too bad. And Heidi wasn't too upset. Usually she's not so bad with fireworks. There are a few big ones this year near our apartment, which seemed to scare her, but luckily not too bad. Not as bad as in Berlin, and what I saw of clips of Amsterdam looked nuts. Well, Finns here are just sort of like, yeah, we popped some off. All right, we're done. Whereas that night in Berlin, it started at like 12 p.m. during the day in bright daylight, and someone threw a firecracker on a ground while we were walking around the next day at 11 a.m. So it just never ended. I'm glad to be in Finland where it's a bit more chill. Still. But that was New Year's. So we're listening to fireworks, and we stayed up a bit later and finished our champagne and watched Malcolm in the Middle, and then we went to bed. So pretty chill night. Sorry this is going to be another super long plan with me, I guess, because I'm already 22 minutes in and I've only done Tuesday, but it is a holiday week. So, you know, we gotta do it up. So Wednesday, of course, I've got a Happy New Year's sticker to put in, and then I had my January monthly plan with me go live, and then I did some filming. I don't know what I was filming at these times. And then also, maybe I'll just put it on one of these washi strips. It snowed this day, so we had no snow until the 1st, and then it melted off and on, but now we've got like a good blanket of snow at the moment. So I got Happy New Year. I just used this, like, it's a Disney firework from the Doodle collections from SPC, but I thought it just worked as a firework overall. And then we have the plan with me go up, and I filmed, and then I just have like a little snowflake from SPC as well to mark that it snowed, which is kind of sad having, usually like the last few years it has snowed on Christmas Day in Helsinki, but not this time. Not this time. Then we're doing a bunch of cleaning. You know how that goes, you know. It's the first day of the new year, so you're doing a bunch of cleaning. So we did a bunch of cleaning this day. I can't remember what I was cleaning. I don't know, just generally everything. Vacuuming and whatnot. Changing the bedding. And then, so Wednesday, I think this is the day we finished Malcolm in the Middle. All 7 seasons of it. And I thought it had a good ending as well. And then I did some work this day as well. I don't know why I put work at the end. I guess I just, I did some work near the end of the day. And that was kind of it. It was kind of a chill day otherwise. And I'm pretty sure I logged into Infinity Nikki, but, I just did like a little login. But that is the first half of the week. Looking so pretty. Hopefully it won't be long until I can put those scripts in for the game, so it'll be complete, but it'll be another couple of weeks before I have those. So let's get on to Thursday. So of course we kind of treated the first as kind of a bonus day of not doing anything. So I started my year properly on the 2nd, and I did a workout. I did my treadmill. As I said to you guys, my New Year's resolution was to use my treadmill at least a little bit, as many days as I can. I've decided I don't need to do it every single day, but I want to do it as much as I can. So I've just been doing 20 minutes, and I get 1 kilometer done in that 20 minutes, which I think is pretty good. 1 kilometer is not a bad thing to properly walk. So I did that. Did my 20-minute 1 kilometer walk, whichever comes first, as long as it's 1 kilometer. So a lot of the times I do go a little bit over 20 minutes, but it's usually how I'm doing it at the moment. And the way I'm doing it is I am currently now getting up at 7 a.m. every day, and I'm basically just slapping on the workout stuff and getting on the treadmill first thing. So then I do my 20 minutes, and then I have a shower, or if I'm not too sweaty, I'll just chill. Most of the time I have to shower. And then I can have breakfast and then have my medication and then start my day by 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So I think that's pretty good. But yeah, I do have to make sure I get it done first thing so it's out of the way. My 20-minute 1 kilometer thing is also not just, it's an easy thing to remember and it's quick. And it's kind of you don't need too much more than that if you just want to be fit and healthy. But also I cannot stand any longer than that. By the time I hit 20 minutes, I'm looking about, I'm itching myself, I'm twitching, I can't concentrate anymore on my video, so I'm out. So I'm not gonna push myself any further than what I can stand mentally. That's when I start getting hot and I'm just ugh, I'm done with this. So it's a lot more pleasurable if I'm just all right, I'm out, I've done a good thing. So that's one of my tips of treadmill, or any workout. It's just do as much as you can before you start feeling gross, and then don't beat yourself up about it. Because it's about, just feeling good. I don't know. I'm trying to be more mindful about that stuff. It's an overall process. Then I was doing some work on the custom, and then I also did some work on my journal, which I will have my little January journal setup, reading journal setup coming very soon. I just have to do the voiceover for that. It's very I included some stuff that I'd left over from December where I finished up some parts of that. But yeah, I only did 2 pages in my January so far. I don't know if I'm going to extend it more. I might do a 3rd page or a 4th page just to add maybe quotes from the books I'm reading. But I honestly feel in the new year that I didn't. Yeah, I'll talk about it in the video when I show it to you. I shouldn't waste and repeat all my stuff, because in case you watch all my videos, do you want me repeating everything I say? Anyway, then of course I played some Infinity Nikki, and we had groceries delivered, and we were watching I Think You Should Leave. We were rewatching that because we love I Think You Should Leave. One of my favorite comedies. It gets me every time. It's just so weird and I love it. It has 3 seasons up on Netflix if you're interested. It's incredibly strange humor, but I love I Think You Should Leave. And then I did some reading. I used the audiobook, but this day I read both. I was reading sort of Kaigen audiobook while I was working, but I was also reading, what books were I reading? I didn't write it down here, and I should have, so let me go check. Okay, I just filled that in, and I went and checked what book I was reading. So my first Kindle book, my first book finished for this year was A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And it's a duology. So I have to get the second book still, which I don't have it, but I will pick it up. But yeah, it's called A Psalm for the Wild Built. I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. it's kind of a cozy fantasy sci-fi, and yeah, like I guess there's personal stakes for the like your main character, but otherwise it's pretty cozy. But I felt like it was a much better cozy book than Legends and Lattes. I don't know. Legends and Lattes did not do it for me. And I will die on this hill. But yeah, it was really, really good. And it was such a good book to start the year with. I highly recommend reading it. I gave it 5 stars. It's like, it's not too long. It's pretty cozy. You've got sort of a solar punk deal going on. So this is like a world where they were on the brink of, humanity was on the brink of collapse. It's a different planet to ours, but they're like humans. And they're kind of going through the same thing as us. They've like filled all these factories with robots. No one has any jobs. They've destroyed the environment. And suddenly one day the robots become sentient. And this isn't spoilers, it's sort of like the backstory of the world. Suddenly become sentient and they say like, we're not going to work in any factories anymore, we're leaving. And humans don't know how that happened. They don't know how they became sentient. But they woke up and they left. And humans had to like deal with that. They call it the transition era. And they decide that they are going to give up most of the land. They only live on like 30% of land on their continent. And they've left the rest to be in the wild. You basically can't do anything to that land. It has to be just left alone. And no one really goes in there because it's also wild. And like it's a couple hundred years later in the book. And no one goes out in the wild because it's all overgrown and the nature has taken back the land. So everyone lives in like this smaller piece of land and it's very eco, like they make their houses out of like mushroom. So if they don't want to use the house anymore, it can just return to the earth, and they reclaim wood and they recycle. And yeah, it's like, it's very interesting kind of, sort of a possible future where humans actually did something and saved their world. But in that 200 years, no one has seen any of these robots. They kind of made a promise that they wouldn't go and bother them. They wouldn't try and get in contact with them, but the robots could come back and contact them. And I realize I'm using the wrong stickers on this one, but that's okay. We'll just switch in because they're purple, you can't really tell. Anyway, I'm using the lighter purple here, but I think it'll be fine. You can't really tell between these two purples, it's not too bad. Sorry if I've made you go crazy while I'm explaining this book. But anyway, our main character, they are living in this current world, and they are actually a monk. So there's like a specific kind of religion in this world, and it's sort of based on, there's a few different gods and they're based on like the cycle of nature and things like that. And basically the one day, the start of the book, they're just like, you know what? I hate my job. They're a gardener in the city and they're like, I want to hear crickets. I don't hear crickets. And they're just like, they just feel unhappy in their work. So they're like, can I change or become a tea monk? And so, you have different positions in your world. So they were a gardener in the city, but now they want to be a tea monk. So they have a wagon, which they live in, and they travel by bicycle with the wagon through the different villages and towns outside of the city. And they basically set up in the town for a couple of days, and they serve people tea and listen to their problems. They're kind of like a traveling therapist, but with tea. And that's their job. So that's what they decide to go do. Because they're struggling with how they want to live. And I feel like that's very poignant for the start of the new year. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I really, really enjoyed it. It's pretty easy and short to read. And I will say I cried through the last pages. But there's a few quotes in there I think I want to put in my reading journal. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But that's the first book that I read and finished properly, sort of Kaigen, sort of an oval, taking a while because it's an audiobook, but yeah, so highly recommend that book. Gave it 5 stars. So after Infinity Nikki, what do we got here? We watched more I Think You Should Leave, and we got Bastard Burgers, which is it's a burger store going. And then we decided to finally start going go back on watching Friday Night Lights, which is why I used the cowboy boots. If you remember, I don't know, was it even last year or was it the year before? So back in 2015, Locke went to 3 months and lived in Singapore doing a student intern thing. And I was home alone and through those 3 months. And so I binge watched all of Friday Night Lights then. And then when Locke came back, it just took years for them to ever watch it. And then we watched like up to like into season 3 last time, and then we never finished it. So we decided, hey, let's go back and actually finish Friday Night Lights. So we started binge watching Friday Night Lights again around season 3. I think is it 5 seasons of Friday Night Lights? But yeah. So I'm going to use all like the cowboy boots and you'll see. I think, did we actually finish it on Sunday? Did we like binge watch it that fast? Anyway, love Friday Night Lights. Such a nostalgic teen show, even though I watched it in 2015. But anyway, when I was like a grown adult. And then I was reading a psalm for the Wild Build. Okay, so Saturday I did some clothes washing. And then we watched some more Friday Night Lights. We were really binging it, but you know, I mean, it's not easy to binge because it is like they're 40-minute episodes, but still we binge watched it. So washed clothes, watched Friday Night Lights, and we also had some mac and cheese for lunch this day. Getting that New Year's mac and cheese in. So I'm using these cheerleader pom-poms for Friday Night Lights this time. But yeah. I do like the ending of Friday Night Lights. I think, like, I don't know. The final season just has a bit more oomph, I feel like. I don't know. Do you think so if you watch Friday Night Lights? I feel like it hits more because of the team and the underdog kind of thing versus the start of the show. I don't know. So I really enjoyed it. And it was good to watch it a second time. I couldn't actually remember what happened to everybody. I completely forgot what happened to Cafferty in the end. I'm like, oh, that's how his story ends. Which, I don't love it. I understand it, but I don't love it for the character. I won't get into it, but if you've watched Friday Night Lights and you remember, yeah. And then, of course, our little Timmy Riggins. Anyway, I just marked that we had hot chocolates on Saturday, but I used the champagne bucket from the New Year's Eve doodle set. I thought that still worked. Then I was in my feelings. We won't talk about it. I will say, like, the next week, I was in quite a deep depression, so yeah. Anyway, that probably added into not doing any videos. And then I finished the book, probably because I was in my feelings, is why I cried during the last part of that book, but anyway, it was good. So I finished Psalm for the Wild Build. So Sunday, it was actually like really cold this day, one of the coldest days so far in the winter, so we decided to take that up and we defrosted the freezer, which, oh my god, defrosting a freezer when you have like minus temperatures in the winter is so good, because in Australia you just don't. I feel like in Australia it's so hard to defrost your freezer because it's never ever cold enough to actually just leave your like here we can just put our freezer stuff in a bag and leave it outside and it stays frozen. So yeah, so it's so much easier to defrost a freezer here because yeah, we just put it outside, empty, clean out the freezer, turn the fridge off, and then yeah, pretty good. So yeah, because it was very full of ice, so that was good to defrost it. And then I had a nap in the morning. I rotated, and then after my nap, I cleaned and rotated our mattress. I just put some baking soda on it, let it sit, and vacuumed it up, and rotated the mattress. And then we're watching more Friday Night Lights, which I had to use the Texas sticker, because whenever else am I ever gonna use the sticker? But anyway, Also, for the next week, we kept talking in like that southern accent because we couldn't help it. Like, come on now. Anyway, I'm not gonna do it. But I just love how like Connie's character says "come on now" all the time. But anyway, yeah, we got too into the southern accent. We can't watch stuff set with southern accents because it just takes over our brains. But yeah, it was watching Friday Night Lights. I can't remember if we finished it here or if we like continued on. I haven't looked at I haven't done any of my like other planning outside of this week, so I have some things to do. But yeah, so and then this night we had bean chili in the slow cooker for dinners. We've been really good. We've just like we buy a lot less meat at the moment, and we're mostly using beans and lentils in replacement of meat, and it's been really good. We're not doing like, you know, the whole changing it up thing. It's just, you know, kind of tired of the minced meat, especially in the chili and whatnot. And it's just so easy and cheap using beans. So making chili, and then I played some Infinity Nikki, and I was reading my next book, which is actually a short story, so it should have only taken me a day, but I read a little bit of it and then I was like, I'm going to sleep. But it was called The 6 Deaths of the Saint by Alix. Let me have a look. You want a sneak peek at no, I won't show you my journal. You have to watch the video. The 6 Deaths of the Saint by Alix Harrow is part of one of those Amazon original short story collections. I heard really good reviews about this one particular one from the collection, so I just bought this one for like $1. And I finished it on Monday, so I guess I'll tell you about it in the next plan with me. But I gave it 5 stars. Let's just say that. But I'll talk about it actually next week. But yeah, I was reading that. It's only like 30 pages, but I don't know. I think I got 10 pages in. I was like, I'm going to sleep. But it was really good. But let me put in our bean chili. And of course, again, we're leaving Infinity Nikki until we get the stickers in. Because I want to be, you know, consistent. So that is the finished week. Let's get her out. All right, and here we are in the first week in my new planner. Look how pretty. I love how it's all set up and it's very pink. Let's quickly put in some of these firework little doodles. Probably won't put too many of them. I know like last year for a lot of the weeks I was putting like a deco sticker in every single thing, and then just some of them are just, well, I can overlay the I can put on the Infinity Nikki because I can overlay with this sticker, so that's okay. But yeah, I probably won't use as much deco. I say that, but maybe I'll get into more deco again in the future. But I just put a little bit of deco around. Where do I want to put this one? I'll put this one with Infinity Nikki again. But I might leave the stars because they're pretty sparkly as it is. But that is the finished week with champagne lights. Looks so pretty. I love it. And not too like dark, still pretty light with those like lighter purples. But yeah, a really nice start to the year. I think the spread turned out really, really well. Yeah, it's always nice when the first spread comes out well and to really set off the year. So hopefully my next spread could be as good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Thank you for watching and listening to me blab about New Year's and all the other things I blabbed about. I hope you enjoyed that and my little stories. I'll try to be more consistent again in the future because I know like consistency is good because I know when I watch, there's a bunch of people that I wait for their videos and they don't come up and I'm sad. So I understand the feeling if you feel that way about my videos, but I will try and be there when I can. But it should be good for now. I just have to work on my routine. I think it was like I was super depressed for a week and then I was also playing this new game and I just have to figure out this new routine with this game in my life because that's who I am as a person. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you used for New Year's Eve. What did you use for What did you do on New Year's Eve? I'd love to know. Do you also do things like a cheesecake or mac and cheese? Did you have champagne? Did you go to bed? Did you kind of miss you didn't even do a countdown because we didn't. We're like, oh, you know. But this year we did make it up past midnight. I think maybe last year we did, but maybe the year before we're like bedtime at 11. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully your first weeks of January have been good and you had a good New Year's Eve, and you're staying safe and healthy. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye bye. I love you. Bye bye.